Yeah, that's usually how they depict higher dimensional space, even though that's not what it actually looks like. We interrupt this session of Half-Life to bring you Lord of the Rings. And here we are, the border world of Zen. The improved version. Although, like I said before, it still finds a way of outstaying its welcome. You're not gonna tell me that's all you got for me is just shotgun ammo. There's a little rift where I entered the dimension. Okay, a few solitary comforts, that's good, although I'm gonna probably be relying on the hive hand for a little bit, just because you're not likely to find a lot of earth ammo here in an alien dimension. I'll say this about Crowbar Collective's version of Zen. It is damn beautiful. Well, things were tranquil there for a second, but now there's head crabs. So yes, that portal atop that ominous tower in the distance is the portal to Nihilanth. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with Half-Life, I guess that's where we're going. Oh look, a little helpful thing just to point you in the right direction. For those who are unfamiliar with Nihilanth, I won't spoil the surprise. I'm not talking because I'm soaking up the beauty of this place. We haven't gotten to the bad part of Zen yet. This is very much the good part of Zen. It's beautiful, it's ominous, it's atmospheric, it's everything that, you know, the original Zen wasn't. And unfortunately later it's going to turn into a slog, just like the original. It's also late and I'm kind of tired, so I don't have the brain cells to be witty. Oh. Where's that other one? That's out of spite for interfering with my long jump. So yes, your prime source of ammunition for your Hume guns in this realm is the bodies of the explorers who came here before you did and are all wearing HEV suits. Some of them came to worse ends than others. We'll get there too. Now that looks like a big Healy pool. Yeah, they made it so the pools heal you 3 points a second instead of 1 point every 2 seconds, so you don't end up spending an hour sitting in these things waiting for your health to recover. Thank you, Crowbar Collective. Not that it would have taken a genius to figure out that getting rid of that was a good idea. There's an achievement for finding all these dead, hazard suit guys, which I haven't gotten. Okay, now that looks like a jump that might kill me. I was 100, hound eye piece of shit. Oh, they hid him behind a pillar of rock. Clever. Yeah, the new long jump module is so much better. You can actually, like, arrest a jump mid-jump, and you've got multiple charges, and it works multi-directionally, so you can use it to dodge. Like, before it was just like, oh, we're gonna do long jump platforming, have fun. Now it's sort of like, oh, we're gonna enhance your mobility, something that you, aside from a sprint, don't really have in Half-Life. Oh, come on, I don't bite. I'll just shoot you. I think that one's dead. So this early part of Zen, Hound Eyes will figure in pretty heavily. We also have some new versions that are even more explosive and irritating. Oh, not getting up that way. There's also an achievement for destroying all the protozoans, but... like, they're everywhere. I don't even... Achievements can wait till I'm not playing this in an LP format. It's been too long dicking around trying to get a frickin' achievement. Okay, so this is an interesting bit where they've actually, like, lassoed some of the floating rocks so they can reposition them for jumps. I'm guessing that just leads to an unending abyss. Yep, I can see space on the other side. So... yeah, the long jump module is not always the solution. It's important to remember that. You can end up quite incidentally hurtling yourself into the void. Yes, a Zen power cell, or crystal, that is being used to power this Zen teleporter. Did I miss something over there? I don't know why Zen load times are so much longer than everything else. I mean, there's a lot here, I'm not gonna lie. Oh. Yeah, there's no scientists or anything, so... For some reason, these teleporters only work one way. What are these, Stargates? Oh. Yeah, the Hive Hand is not great for an emergency, but if you just need to save ammo because it, you know, oh, yes. The weird crystals that recharge your shields. That didn't refill my gluon or anything, did it? No, but I got some charges from the corpses of scientists that ventured to the border world never to return. That was a lot of hound eyes. I don't know if this will work. Actually, I'm pretty sure it won't. If I can get up on this rock, though, maybe. Have fun floating through space, little head crab buddy. There's literally nothing there, it's just a hole that... Okay. So this is literally just here to grab the guy's body. I suppose one thing I could talk about is why this Zen, in particular, took 5 years to develop. No bullshit. No cap. Basically, this remake was being done by a relatively small team of developers, of course. Now, small team of developers, things are going to take a while. And you don't have a lot of, like, top-down authority. You know, everybody's sort of on a level playing field. There's not necessarily, like, a boss that you answer to and that you're beholden to. There's ichthyosaurs in that water. So, when you're doing a remake, I mean, you're putting stuff in a new engine, you need to create new, art assets, you know, surfaces need to be textured differently, character models need to be updated, etc., etc. There's a lot of new stuff that needs to be done. But it's all built on a fairly rigid skeleton of what lied before. I mean, they weren't reinventing Gordon Freeman, they were just making him look different. They weren't reinventing the head crabs or the Vortigons, all of that was just sort of being refinished. Now, the issue with Zen was that everybody agrees that Zen, for the first Half-Life, was a rushed, chaotic, pathetic mess. Nobody would argue to the contrary of that. At least nobody with any good sense of taste. It's an affront to human decency, as Civi put it, and he was fairly accurate in that interpretation. So naturally, when Crowbar Collective got around to Zen, they wanted it to be something that that felt appropriate as a finishing chapter of the Half-Life legend. The issue was, that meant that there was going to have to be a lot of additional material. New set pieces, new locations. Like I said, just a lot of new things. I can't even tell if these are actually hitting that. They seem to do something when they hit the water, like they stop and then they dart off. Yep, got him. No. They're being really squirrely. Nope. I think that connected. There we go. That used about a mag, but now if I fall into the water, I can do so with the security of knowing that I'm not going to land right in the middle of two ichthyosaurs that can... And that's precisely why we clear out the water. Oh, and there's actually a thing in here. A guy. A dude. Can I... How do I get into your cage? Okay, air first. God, this is like Halo 1 water. You can't see anything. Yeah, because this shark cage worked great in, Yeah, he's still flashing. I collected you, didn't I? There we go. I can't, like, drag his body ashore, can I? Suppose I could push him to a shallow point. No, because he keeps trying to, like, get me on top of him. Okay, I don't know if he's chirping just to, like, signify where the shark cage is, because I should have collected him at this point. Go to shore! Go to shore, whatever qualifies shore in this instance. I'm gonna assume he's collected because, yeah. So yeah, and you might be thinking that, because it's been probably 3 minutes since I was speaking about what I was talking about before, you might be thinking that, okay, so Zen took a long time because they had to create a lot of new assets. That wasn't the only reason. The issue was a lot of those assets were going to be entirely original, entirely new. And that's where you come into the old adage that many cooks spoil the broth, or whatever it is. Everybody had different creative ideas on what they should do with Zen. Everybody had different creative ideas. And the issue is that if you have a strong, like, authority structure and that top-down drive of, you know, okay, no, we're doing it this way. Okay, yeah, that's just a beacon noise. Of, no, we're doing it this way, and, you know, creative directors, whatever. You can basically get all of the varying parties to sort of agree that, you know, this is what we're going to do. No more mucking about. Get to work. Get it done. But what you have is a small studio where you don't have necessarily, like, a big boss man who can throw his weight around and be like, do it my way or you're fucking fired. Because you've got so few people to begin with, you start firing people willy-nilly because they want to express themselves creatively, and pretty soon you don't have a studio anymore. Please wipe your feet. Yes, this is another instance of, like, a new location. This, human hab did not exist in the original Zen. And the implication here is that, like, oh, well, they were setting up, like, a base camp on Zen back when they first discovered it. And now we have headcrab zombies and HEV suits. These headcrab zombies, the HEV suits actually work, because that blue sparking effect you saw was the energy reactive armor blocking my shotgun shots. So, to bring these guys down, you really have to go for the headcrab. Oh, there we go. I just got the achievement calculated trajectory for shooting headcrabs out of midair. Luckily, you get a warning whenever one of these HEV headcrab zombies is roaming around because their suit is glitching out. It's trying to preserve life functions because the victim is technically still alive, but all their vital functions are scrambled because they're, well, being puppeteered by a headcrab. You even get that, whoops, you're dead, boop! So yeah, like, somebody had to propose the idea in Crowbar Collective, hey, you know, let's explain why there are so many, like, hazard suit-wearing guys on Zen. They had a base set up there, they were doing work. And the thing is, it had to go through, like, a bunch of people with a million different ideas. Somebody probably thought that was a bad idea, somebody thought it was a great idea. So, when it came to remastering what already existed, Crowbar Collective didn't have a great deal of creative difference, you know, the freedom to have creative difference, because they were painting within the lines, but when it came to Zen, and the expansion of Zen, it all kind of fell apart. So suddenly, this final portion of the game ends up taking, a solid 5 years. Oh, God. Well, I was about to ask, how exactly did all these headcrabs find their way into this habitat in the first place, and... oh look, there's a huge hole torn in it. You know, I understand that temporary facilities can, and probably always will, be made of some easily portable material like cloth or canvas or soft plastic, but, this is why I like stuff carved into rock, because you don't end up with this shit, usually. That's a dead scientist. Not enough power. Okay, something's supposed to be inserted into that. That way. Okay, we take the crystal, we insert the crystal onto the Zen generator. We then plug the power source into the Zen generator. And that restores power to the entire facility. The little puzzles like that are fine, but we're going to get into some truly Machiavellian bullshit later that's really going to start grinding my gears. Especially since it's on hard. Like, I've already done all this on normal. Once. I've done the rest of it twice, but this is gonna be troublesome. I also like how they actually have the chest light. User death.